All right, good evening once again. I'm Mrs. Dodson, College and Career Specialist. I am now recording this presentation, or at least attempting to. We do have a few people that have joined us through Microsoft Teams as well, so we're trying to reach out to everybody. The other piece we tried to do was get the translation going, but the Wi-Fi in here isn't quite working for us tonight, so we couldn't get that going. But if you do need a translation, hopefully we can get that to you in the future. All right, did everybody sign in for attendance? You should have done that as you came in. That's just a way for me to kind of see who was here. I'll collected your emails as well, so that way we can reach out to you, send you any of the materials that I shared tonight. And that makes it a little bit easier for you to access with the QR codes or the tiny URLs or the websites. All right, so here is our agenda. There we go. We have a lovely student in the back that's helping with the technology. Lots of help tonight, so I really appreciate all of my student helpers, as well as assistant principal and principal are here as well, trying to get all the finalized details going for me. So appreciate everybody's help. It's a team effort for sure. All right, but here is our agenda, guys. So we've got a lot to cover. I'm going to touch a little bit on each of these, so that way you can plan ahead. This is specifically for grades 9 through 11. When you get to your senior year, we'll go into a lot more detail. But right now, I just want to give you an idea of what's ahead so you guys can start planning, start thinking about your future, because that is my goal, to make sure everybody has a plan for after high school. So we need to be able to communicate with each other. So that's the first topic. Do you know who your counselor is? You should. Maybe you emailed them once or twice for a schedule change, maybe not. But this is who the counselors are. Again, you can scan the QR code. That will take you directly to the website where you have access to their email, phone number, office room number, and everything. Sometimes the counselors do change from year to year. It is based on the size of our school and different parameters like that. So this is who you have this year. It may or may not be the same counselor next year, but everybody's trained to do the same thing. And so they are all here to help you with those graduation requirements, with those credits, making sure that you have everything required to graduate. And then we have Miss Cagliari is our API over student services. So she is in the back there, so waving at us. And then we also have Miss Neely is also back here. So, but Miss Cagliari is over the student services department. And then I am over the college and career. So I work with all grade levels in college and career planning for after high school. So here's a little bit more about what I do. You can see my email address up there, and there we go. All right. So, and what I do is we talk about everything, such as career exploration, creating a college list, financial aid, scholarships, all of that good stuff is what I'm here to assist you with. So don't feel overwhelmed today, because we'll meet again. Your kids can come see me. I'll meet with them again. So this won't be the only time you'll see me. And it won't be the only time you hear from me either. So I'll be sending lots of messages to make sure everybody's staying informed. The two papers that you have also have the information on there. So this one right here has your counselor contact information. And it has the parent Facebook page, which is posted up here as well. So parents, if you're on Facebook, go ahead and join the appropriate grade level. And whatever I post to student services, I'll talk about that in a moment, I will also post to the parent Facebook page. Now, I know you guys, your kids come home and they tell you all about their wonderful day at school. They go through every period. They say, oh, wow, first period we did this, and then second period we did this, and it was amazing. And I'm sure you guys all hear that from your students every single day. But just in case you don't, This is what the Facebook page is for. This is just an easy way for me to add another layer of communication that makes it a little bit easy to share information. So again, that's on the paper that was distributed to you. Okay, I briefly mentioned the Student Services Canvas page. This is something that all students have access to. If they don't, have them send me a quick email. But this is where all of the college and career materials will be posted. So there's a special link just for colleges. There are links for each grade level, community service, and just about everything college and career related. So if your students are looking for something, the first place they need to go is the Student Services Canvas page. Also, I'll do announcements either for all 4 grade levels or specifically for each grade level. So make sure y'all are checking that. Don't ignore my messages. And speaking of checking things, students, you've got to make sure you're checking your email. Your student email is where I will be sending most stuff. But as you go through your junior and senior year, you're going to start using that personal email more frequently. So we've got to make sure we have our student email we're checking every day, your personal email, checking that every day, staying on top of things. But of course, we don't want to just check our student email or check our personal email. We have to actually read it. So don't just look at it and say, oh my goodness, there's another message from Ms. Dodson. You need to actually read it. It might be about college. It might be about scholarships like money, okay? Or it might be something else that's going on. So it's important that you guys are actually reading those messages. And then if it doesn't pertain to you, delete it. If it's something you need to look at later, then hold on to it, but be sure to look at it later. All right, what kind of resources do we have? All right, well, I will be your #1 resource for college and career. So I have open labs and workshops. Open labs are just going to be where students can come in, they can ask a quick question, they can come in and sit and work. They can look at some of the brochures I have lots of brochures about colleges and stuff in my room. And so that's what an open lab is. You don't have to have an appointment, you just come by. That's typically going to be lunches, A and B lunch, and then usually Wednesdays after school, 1:20 to 2:30. And then there are workshops. So sometimes I have specific workshops that'll go more towards the senior year, like we're about to start having the FAFSA, which is the financial aid. So I'll be having lots of workshops for that. In the past, I've had college application workshops or college essay workshops. Again, those were mostly focused on the seniors. So workshop is something that you do have to sign up for. Okay, it does require registration, whereas an open lab, you just have to come. I'll update the link, that tiny URL at the bottom, or the QR code, and guess what? It's also on your paper that you have. Okay, so I will update that weekly with my available dates and times, so that way you can see, okay, when can I come in this week or next week? I also have on here individual meeting. So if you want to set up an individual meeting, you can do that. I actually checked the link and I don't have any individual meetings available right now, but that will change, so keep checking it. I just scheduled through September, October. It's mostly going to be senior meetings, but starting in November, I should have more availability. So start looking in November, plan ahead, and I'll be glad to meet with you. Parents are welcome to come to those individual meetings. Another resource would be the OCPS College and Career YouTube channel. This has lots of great videos about the Florida colleges, about the top colleges and national colleges, the liberal arts colleges and universities. A lot of how-to videos, again, for your senior year, but at least you can kind of start looking into that. Great videos about the military, Orange Tech, Valencia, lots of great information, so use this as a resource. Volunteers, I'm always looking for parent volunteers. So if you are interested in volunteering, then you can fill out this form and I'll be in touch with you soon. What are you going to volunteer for? Well, basically just helping out in the College and Career Center, whether it be helping a student with a college application, financial aid, Bright Futures, any of those applications, or just learning more about the process. Sometimes we have visitors here, and so maybe I need some help. You just be a host or hostess and can just help meet and greet the people that are going to be on our campus. So if you'd like to be a volunteer, then complete that form. I'm sure you guys have heard a lot about this and you're wondering, why in the world do I have to do this? Well, there are some benefits for the free and reduced lunch other than just getting a free or reduced lunch. So this is something you will have to fill out every single year. Okay, so even if you did it last year or the year before, which nobody had to do the last couple of years, so maybe way back you did it, but it was really nice that the district or the state provided all of our students with the free lunches the last couple of years, but now we're back to the normal. Again, we're going to have to start paying for stuff, but if you qualify for free or reduced lunch, it opens up opportunities for college application waivers, which will be your senior year, not this year, but also the SAT and ACT waivers. So if you choose to take that SAT or ACT on a Saturday, then you can have a waiver for that where you won't have to pay for it. Again, if you qualify for the free or reduced lunch, but of course you have to complete the application. All right, graduation requirements. That's our number one goal, is to make sure that everybody graduates. And so what does it take to graduate? It takes your credits, your GPA, and your test scores. So credits, GPA, and test scores in order to meet graduation requirements. And everybody's credits are going to look a little bit different, but you have to have 4 English, which could be English 1, English 2, English 3, and English 4. But remember, there's also honors levels in there and AP levels. So even though everybody might be taking a little bit different course, it still counts as an English credit. You need 4 math credits. Did anybody start taking math in middle school? Maybe, yeah, a couple of y'all. Okay, so some of you guys may have 4 credits by the time of your end of your sophomore year. Well, guess what? You're going to keep taking math classes. Just because it says 4 are required, you're going to keep taking a math class every single year at Freedom High School, because that's what the colleges are looking for. I had a friend of a friend, right? A friend whose daughter did not take math her senior year. So when she went to college, she had to take a remedial math class because she had that full year where she was not getting any sort of practice or anything like that. So even though she ended pre-cal her junior year, her freshman year in college, she had to take a remedial class because she was out a year, has to pay for it, but that remedial class isn't counting towards her degree. So we want to make sure that all of our students are prepared, are best prepared for college. And that's what we want to make sure, that you have that math class every single year. The same thing with science. How many years are in high school? 4, right? How many science classes do you have? 3. You only have to have 3. But again, we want to make sure that you're taking a science class every single year so that you'll be best prepared for college. And then the 3 social science classes will be your world history, U.S. history, and government and economics. HOPE is going to be the health and PE credit, which is offered online, either on campus or you can take it through OCBS. 1 art class, which could be performing, a fine art, or a practical art. 1 online course, which we mentioned, would be HOPE, or maybe another class such as driver's ed or anything else of your choice. And then 8 electives. So those are going to be all of the credits that you'll need. And again, they're going to vary from student to student based on your level, based on your interests, and so forth. Then we also have to have the required state testing. For the past several years, it's been the Algebra 1 EOC and the 10th grade FSA ELA. So right now they're transitioning into a new testing program for the 9th through 11th. So I didn't get all of those details. Keep talking to your teachers, watching the news, looking at the district postings, and as soon as I get a clearer response, then I'll make sure I post that. But you will have some type of probably math test and English test that will be required for graduation. The required GPA will be an unweighted 2.0 or higher. And then some of the other things that colleges are looking for, as I mentioned, are going to be 2 years in the same world language. So Spanish 1, Spanish 2, French 1, French 2, AP Spanish language, AP Spanish lit. Okay, any 2 years in the same language, that's required for a Florida public school, Florida public college or university, and then also for the Bright Futures. So it's 2 requirements, not required under the credits for graduation, but required for those opportunities. Also, as I mentioned before, our colleges recommend a science class every single year, as well as a math class. And then we also, it's also recommended to have 1 or more of the following, either an industry certification, AP score of 3, 4, or 5, or some type of dual enrollment. So as you're planning your high school credits, when it comes time to looking at the course request for the next year, keep all of this in mind. Okay, it's not just about picking the classes for the year, it's what's going to help you in the future. What's going to help me get into that college? What's going to help me prepare for my career? And all of this is something that your counselors will be helping you with. They're going to be guiding you and making sure you're getting all of these required credits. Okay, so let's talk about the GPA, which is the grade point average. So you get different points for your grades. So it's kind of silly. It starts out as a percentage, like a 94, and then it goes to a letter, an A, and then it goes to a GPA point, which is a 4. So you kind of have like 3 different grades for the same thing. But this is what's going to count. This is what's going to go on your transcript. This is what colleges are going to be looking for. So a regular class, regular English 1, biology 1, any of those regular classes will be a scale of 4 for an A, 3 for a B, 2 for a C, and 1 for a D, and of course 0 for an F. And then for an honors class, you get 1 extra point. So that's going to be a 5, a 4, and a 3. And then for AP or dual enrollment, you're going to get 2 extra points. So a 6, a 5, and a 4. But regardless of what level, if you get a D or an F, it's a 1 or a 0. So don't do that. We got to make sure we have that 2.0 or higher for graduation. And then colleges are looking for that weighted GPA. So that's why you want to be taking these advanced classes, those honors, and those AP classes. And then when we talk about class rank uses the weighted GPA. So the highest weighted GPA will be number 1, and then the lowest GPA weighted will be 600 or however many are in your class. Okay, so talking a little bit more about the grade point average, the GPA. A weighted GPA, again, is going to be with those honors, AP, dual enrollment. That's what the class rank is calculated with, and that's what college applications are looking for. They're going to use that weighted GPA. And then we have the unweighted GPA, again, is going to be that 2.0, which is required for graduation. Class rank is also important for college applications. Okay, so juniors and seniors will get ranked twice a year. So juniors, your first time you'll get a class rank is going to be here in a couple weeks, October. And then next February, and then the following October, and then the next February. So you get ranked in October and February of your junior and senior year. So number 1 is going to be our valedictorian, and number 2 is our salutatorian. So that's our number 1 and 2. Those are our top students, the highest weighted GPA. And then the top 10% is also important for some college applications. So for example, if there are 600 students in your class and you are ranked number 1 through 60, you would be in the top 10%. Some schools have automatic admission for top 10%. So again, now's the time to start planning and thinking about these things so that you're not scrambling around your senior year and say, oh my goodness, I should have worked harder my sophomore year. So now's the time to plan for this. The GPA is posted in Skyward. As soon as the new class rank comes out, I'm going to post or send everybody an email. I'll let the juniors and seniors an email with that information, so that way you can see where you are, okay? So that's coming soon. I also mentioned a little bit about dual enrollment. So if dual enrollment is something you want to do, if you want to try and get that AA by the time you graduate, this is how you can do this. First of all, there's 3 different opportunities. Valencia is our most popular. It's right here. Okay, it's local, it's close by. We can get there, get to those classes. You can take them online. But we also have opportunities through UF and UCF. UF and UCF are online only. So it is important that you guys do your research. If you want to look at dual enrollment, that's going to be taking college classes while you're in high school. So the college classes will count for high school credits, and they'll also count for college credits. So it's a great opportunity, but you've got to do your research. You've got to make sure you know when those deadlines are. So if you want to start next fall, then the application will open up January, February. You cannot miss the deadline. There's no late work for college applications. So you've got to make sure you pay attention to that. All right, so do your homework and apply, complete the application by the deadline, and then you'll need to meet with your counselor to figure out, okay, I need English 3, so can I take that at Valencia? What class will count for that? How am I going to get that credit? And so forth. So make a plan with your counselor to make sure you're going to meet all of those requirements. And something to keep in mind as well is not all of the credits will transfer, especially if you're planning to go to college outside of Florida. They're not going to, a lot of schools will say, no, we don't know what Florida does for their English class. We want you to take English on our campus. But Valencia is connected with the Florida public schools, and those classes will transfer to the Florida public schools. So keep that in mind. There's also the direct connect from Valencia to UCF. So Valencia, you complete your AA with your Associate of Arts, and then you have automatic admission to UCF. Okay, so a couple of opportunities for dual enrollment. So if you think that might be for you, talk about it with your parents, do some research, talk about it with your counselor. The high school transcript is a record of all of your high school academics. So anytime you earned a credit for high school, whether you started in 7th grade or you started in 9th grade, those credits will be on your transcript and count towards that GPA. So it shows your credits and your grades, your GPA, your class rank. Once you start getting the class rank, your junior and senior year, it'll show the online credit, the required state testing, community service hours, and lots of details there. And then of course all of your demographics. So this is the official high school transcript. Juniors will be getting one, I believe, tomorrow through their history class. I think it's the history class. So the counselors are going to be coming in and distributing those. If you're a dual enrollment student, reach out to your counselor and take care of that with them. But the big thing is just making sure the record is correct, making sure you have all of that information on there, like especially that online credit. Make sure we have that on there as well. You can order an official transcript if you would like one. You would just come to the student services, student services. There's a form you can fill out, or you can also do that on the website, on the student website. So you'll complete the form. You can just say that you want to pick one up, and so they'll get it processed for you. It does take 4 to 5 days to get that taken care of, and Ms. Hernandez is the one who processes that for us. And just keep in mind that transcripts are not allowed to be emailed per OCPS. So it's not something we say, hey, we're just trying to be mean, we can't email it to you. But now OCPS does not want those transmitted that way. Okay, so as I mentioned, juniors and seniors are getting their transcripts now. Seniors got theirs last week, juniors will get theirs this week. And then that new class rank for juniors and seniors will come out in October. And then the final class rank will come out for seniors in February. So that's what will solidify that top 10 that sits up on the stage, who our number 1 and number 2 are, that say the speech at graduation and all that good stuff. So that's coming up, so stay tuned if you're a junior. Okay. Now we have the SAT. So the SAT will be October 12th. So everybody on campus is going to take some type of SAT. So what is SAT? Well, it is a college entrance exam. So it has a little bit of everything. It's got reading, writing and language, math with a calculator, and math without a calculator. So there's several sections on it. And so the kids will go through and finish each section. But it can also count as a concordance score for the state test. And then it also is one of the requirements for the FFAA or the Bright Futures. 9th graders will take the PSAT, 10th graders will take the PSAT, 11th graders will take the PSAT NMSQT, that's always fun to say, and then the 12th graders will take the SAT. So juniors, you will be taking the National Merit Scholar Qualifying Test. That's a really long acronym and it's super hard to say. So what is it exactly? It is academic competition for recognition and scholarships. So basically what that means is you got to do your very best on this test. Just come, be prepared, work hard, and then see if you qualify for any of those scholarships. Okay, so what, just want to come in and do your best, because you never know what can happen. So that will be October 12th for everybody on campus. All right, and we've got, if y'all didn't notice, we have Club Z is here. She's up here at the back, Ms. Vivo, and she does SAT and ACT tutoring, as well as individual tutoring for school, whatever you need help with. So that's what Club Z is there for. They're also hosting an SAT boot camp on October 8th at the library. So definitely check this out, and if you need some of that extra help, then take advantage of it. It's a great opportunity. Okay, all of this information was posted on the Student Services Canvas, and I'll share this with you guys again as well. Is there anything else you wanted to add? All right, very good. So you guys got some flyers. There will be more in the lobby if you'd like to grab one on your way out. All right, the ACT. So yes, Club Z also helps tutoring with the ACT. The ACT is another college entrance exam. It also can count for those concordance scores for the state testing to help meet those graduation requirements. And it's also a requirement of the FFAA or the Bright Futures. So for the Bright Futures, you can do either or. You don't have to do both, either the SAT or the ACT. It does have math, English, reading, and it has a science portion. So if you feel that science is one of your strengths, you probably want to take the ACT. But there is not an ACT offered during the school day. So in order to check out those dates and times and locations, just go to act.org. All right, Patriots, so what do you need to do? You just got to do your very best. All right, so right now, 9th, 10th, and 11th grade, you've got to focus on those academics. You've got to do your very, very best. Complete that online class. Understand what you need for graduation. Focus on those academics and really prepare for graduation. Everything that you do through your junior year is what's going to help you benefit with that college application process. So you're going to be filling out those college applications right about now of your senior year, and they're only going to use the grades through your junior year. So just be aware, now's the time to really get focused and get going on those grades. So let's look at our post-secondary options. So guys, kids, students, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? How about 10 years from now? 15 years? Anybody see themselves still living at home with mom and dad? Mom and dad, you still want those kiddos living at home with you? We know we all love each other, but yes, we want to move out. We want to go be on our own. We want to make sure that we are, that we're going to be able to support ourselves. Okay, so how can we get there? You've got to have a plan and you've got to have goals. So here are some options. I will share this presentation with you because each of these have hyperlinks to tell you more about those programs. So these are the post-secondary options. So post, after, secondary, high school. So what can you do after high school? You could go straight to work, get a job, and then 10 years down the road, you're still at that same job, making that same amount because you've never earned or learned any other skills. You never went and got certified. You never went and got that college degree to help you get to that next level. So the next option would be an apprenticeship program. That would be on-the-job training. There are lots of opportunities for students at Orange Tech through their apprenticeship programs. It's where you're getting paid to learn a skill, and it's for jobs that are in high demand. Then we have accelerated skills training programs. That's through Valencia. It's exactly what it says. They're going to get you through quickly, get you the skills, and get you a high-paying job. We have the military. Always a good option. You can go into the military for 4 years, learn all of the skills of that particular branch, and then you can get your college paid for while you're in the military. You can decide to have a career in the military, or you can get out of the military with zero debt. So the military recruiters are on campus every Tuesday and Thursday, so go say hello to them. Then we have a technical college or specialty program. That might be something like maybe cosmetology, travel agent, flight attendant, something along those lines. You're going to get certified or getting and moving into your career. So those are what we would call more of the non-traditional routes for students to go, but that doesn't mean you can't be successful. There are a lot of people that are making really good money doing all of those other things, doing the what we call non-traditional types of training. You can still be successful. And then we have the more traditional 2-year college and 4-year university. So again, I'll share this with you because each of these do have hyperlinks there. As I mentioned, the military are coming. They are here. Have y'all seen them at lunch? Have you ignored them? Don't ignore them. They're super nice. They're not going to make you sign up. So, but yeah, they're going to be coming every Tuesday and Thursday at lunch, just right outside of Student Services. Go talk to them. Say, hey, what kind of jobs do you have? How can I get my college paid for? And they'll be glad to share that with you. But lots of great opportunities with the military. Okay, so we talked about our post-secondary options. Now let's talk about the career. So we know what our options are, but what type of career do we want to go into? Any ideas? Maybe? Maybe you haven't thought that far. But it'll get here before we know it. Okay, so if you're not sure what type of career you want to go into, I have lots of career activities for you. You can go to the Student Services Canvas page, scroll down a little bit, and there's an icon for careers. And that will take you to lots of different activities you can do. So maybe you don't know exactly what you want to do, but you can at least pick a category. So there are types of careers or majors. So there's all kinds of, this is just one list of categories. There may be some on there that you don't see what you want to do. But this is just one website that has lots of great ideas. Go to the website, it'll tell you a little bit about each of those and offer some careers there. We also have an aptitude test, 1, 2, 3 career aptitude test. This goes really quick. You look at 4 different pictures, pick one you like, one you don't like. And then at the end of the set of 15, it'll give you a long list of careers that match what you're interested in. So that's a good way for you to see, okay, hey, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Or, hey, I've never heard of that before. What's all that about? And so you can find some other careers. Another great tool is the Occupational Outlook Handbook. You can do a search either for a specific career, or you can go into different categories. And then once you find a specific career, it'll have videos. It'll tell you what type of degree, education level you need. It will tell you other things, other exciting things about the job, like how much money you're going to make. That's always important, right? So another good tool for you to use, Occupational Outlook Handbook. And SCORE. SCORE is a app on the Launchpad. And so the kids can find it through Launchpad, and there's going to be a career inventory that you can do, and it's called Use Science. This one does take a little bit of time to do, but it's really good. So it takes anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes to complete because there's several surveys that you'll answer. But again, it's going to give you a good list of careers that match what you're interested in. So that's through SCORE. All right, so we got our post-secondary options, so we know what our options are. We've done a little bit of searching for careers. Now we've got to figure out what type of level of education do we need. Well, we know everybody's going to get their high school diploma. We're all going to work super hard all the way through our senior year and get that high school diploma, walk across the stage, have all our parents and family cheer for us. It's going to be great. But what else do we need? Do we need some type of certification, an apprenticeship or a license? Are we going to have to take the ASVAB if we're going into the military? Do we need an associate's degree, which is a 2-year degree? Do we need a bachelor's degree, which is a 4-year degree, or something beyond that? And just for example, an associate's degree I mentioned was 2 years. An example would be Valencia. You go there for 2 years, get your associate's degree, and then you can transfer to any other university, and there would be an additional 2 years to finish that bachelor's degree. And when I say any other university, that would be the public universities in Florida. The credits should transfer unless you completely change your major. You may have to take some extra classes there. And then I mentioned the direct connect to UCF. Now it's time to look for a college. Are we ready for that yet? It's never too early, never too early. So we've got to figure out what is important to me, not to mom and dad, not to brother or sister, not to boyfriend or girlfriend, but what's going to be important to me when I'm selecting a college. We've got to look at our GPA, our class rank, and our test scores. May not have all of those yet, but again, set some goals for yourself. You want to look at the location. Do we want to live close to mom and dad, or are we ready to move far, far away? I chose the far, far away. I moved 5 hours away, but guess what? They still came all the time. I still saw them. So then you got to figure out the major. Does the college have the major you're interested in? And how much is it going to cost me? Will that make a difference in which school you choose? Once you do your college applications, you'll get a financial package, and that will let you know, hey, how much is it really going to cost me? Some of the things that financial package will include the FAFSA, merit scholarships, Bright Futures, other scholarships, and then also student loans. So the student loans will be how much you're going to have to pay. And then campus activities. Is that important to you? Does anybody like college football out here? I love college football. I love college football. So I wanted to make sure I went to a college that had football, okay? So, you know, if that's something that's important to you, then it's got to be on their campus. Or maybe you want to go into a sorority or fraternity. Maybe that's important to you because mom did it and grandma did it, and the train goes on. Okay, so what's important to you? And you have to be realistic. So the other paper that you should have gotten is going to be this little one that has a table on it. This is what we call the SUS matrix. SUS matrix. The State University System of Florida. And these are not the only colleges in Florida, okay? These are the public universities in Florida. And these are the updated requirements as of 2022. So what did it take to get into these colleges to start this fall? So you can see the average GPA, the average SAT, the average ACT. It also tells you which you'll need for your senior year, where's the application, when is it due, and so forth. But for you guys right now, take a look at those SATs and the ACT. Take a look at the GPA. Where are you? Are you close to that? If not, how do I get there? Well, you're going to have to study. You're going to have to get all of your assignments turned in on time. You're going to have to do better on those tests. Maybe take some more AP classes the next couple of years. So start planning and start doing some research on that. And of course, those are not the only schools in Florida or in the U.S., just a starting place for you to look at. When we want to look for the total cost is another important factor. We can use the Big Future on College Board to help us with that. Just if you type in Big Future on College Board, it'll bring you to this website. You can type in a specific college, such as I put Florida State in there. Click on the cost, and it's going to be that in-state tuition plus all those other costs. They don't like to give you just one big cost because they're afraid you're going to have a heart attack just looking at their website. But just know that you have to add everything together. And some of those are suggested amounts like travel or housing or stuff like that, personal expenses. But that gives you an idea, if you were to live on campus, how much would it cost me? So it's about $22,644 per year for Florida State. Is that what you're going to pay? We hope not, right? We hope you'll get the Bright Futures. We hope you'll get some merit scholarships, and some other things will come in. But just to give you a starting point, that's what it's going to start out at. Orange Technical College is also a great opportunity, okay, if you feel like, hey, I'm not ready for a big four-year college. I want to get to work. So, hey, there's a lot of great apprenticeship and certification programs at Orange Tech. Now would be a really good time for you to check those out. Go tour the campus, see what they have to offer. The same thing with Valencia. Maybe you're not ready to go to that four-year university, but you know you want to go to a two-year and then a four-year. Valencia is a great stepping stone for that. There are several different programs at Valencia. You have the Associate of Arts degree, which is the AA. That is the only degree that will transfer to a four-year university. So remember, when you're thinking about that, whether that's what dual enrollment is working for, dual enrollment at Valencia is working towards getting that AA so that you can transfer to a four-year university. Then they also have Associate of Science, AS. These are 2 to 3 year programs where you're going to get certified and go to work. You're going to get the training you need in that particular field and then go to work. Some of those classes may transfer to UCF. So for example, if you want to go in, you decide you want to be a nursing assistant. So you go to Valencia, you get your nursing assistant certification. Then you decide later, after working a few years, hey, I really want to become an RN. Well, you're going to have to go back to college, but you don't have to start completely over because some of those nursing classes will transfer. Then there are tech certifications, get certified and go to work. And then the accelerated skills training program, that is for jobs that are in high demand. They say, hey, we really need people in this field. So they create a program that can train people to go into that field. So again, lots of opportunities at Valencia. All right, so let's look at building a college list. Again, it's never too early to get started on this. You kind of have an idea of what type of career you want to go into. So now let's look at some different ways to build a college list. College Board recommends that you come up with a list of 6 colleges. 2 safety, 2 match, and 2 reach. So as you're thinking about these colleges, we're going to think about that. Okay, what is something that I know for sure I'm going to get into? Well, I know I'm going to graduate from high school, so I know I can get accepted to Valencia. What is a match? Well, looking at my GPA and just basing it roughly on this information here, I know I have some match schools. Or maybe looking at this sheet here and I see, well, I really want to go to UF, but my GPA is not there yet. So UF might be more of a reach school for me. But this is all about goals. Set some goals for yourself. Know what you want to accomplish and start setting up a plan to get there. This is just a little bit more about the safety, match, and reach schools. Again, I'm going to share this with you so you can read through that. But there are 2 big ways that you can, or 2 easy ways, I should say, that you can build a college list. One is through College Board on Big Future. And the other one is through SCORE, which is on our Launchpad. Both give you the same information. So if we go to Launchpad, go to SCORE, it's the little sideways S or the infinity sign. And you can go to My Colleges and build a list together. And you can fine tune. You can put in some different parameters for the colleges you're looking for. You can put, maybe the major you want to go into or something like that. And then it will save your list. So every time you log in, you'll see your list of colleges. Another way is through Big Future on College Board. The only reason I like to talk about Big Future on College Board is because it leads to scholarships. And I would love to see more kids get scholarships. The scholarship for this particular one doesn't open up until spring semester of your junior year. But again, you can start using this as a tool now, and then when it opens up for you, you already have it taken care of. So on Big Future, again, if you go to the main website there, it gives you 4 different things, 4 different parameters that you can put in. So for example, we could put major, and you may not know exactly what you want to do, but put 3 or 4 down. You can select as many majors as you want, and also do location and some of the other things, and then a list will populate. It'll tell you, X number of colleges matched your parameters, your interests. You can also go along the top and see there are other interests, more details that you can add. You can click on the university to find out more information. And then you can like the college and it will be added to your list. And then you can keep searching. So if we click on the college, then it tells us more information. And magically, Texas Tech University popped up. Go Tech. Hopefully they'll have a better game this weekend. But, well, we're playing Texas, so maybe not. All right, so once you go here, then you can find out more information about that particular college. All right, so we've got all of those tabs going across the top. So click on each of those, tell you about the academics. What does it take to get into that college? How much is it going to cost me? And then decide, hey, that sounds pretty cool. Let me add it to my list. So this is the scholarship opportunity that I was talking about, the Big Future Scholarship. And again, this will open up the spring semester of the junior year. But every time a student completes a task, their name goes into a drawing for $500. So the first one is building the college list. Everybody can work on that now. You can already get that done. And then that way, when your junior semester, spring semester rolls around, hey, you've already got that done. Practice for the SAT. That's a great place to go. Practice on Khan Academy. Kids, have y'all been practicing on Khan Academy? I'm sure you have. I hear that all the time. Okay, so that's one of the things. It's doing two things, preparing you for the SAT, and then in the future you get to put your name in a drawing for $500. So why not? All right, and then as you can see, searching for scholarships, strengthening that college list, really trying to get the 2 match, the 2 safety, the 2 reach. And then again, the senior year, we'll do the FAFSA and we'll do the applying to colleges. But all of these steps help you prepare for college. So the Big Future is a great way for you to get started with all of that. Okay, this is just telling you that you could get $500 for each one of those. Again, it's just a drawing. Your name goes into a drawing and they draw you out. And it's not like they're just drawing one person. They're drawing multiple people. We've had several kids. We had several kids last year, and then I was giving this presentation in the senior government classes, and a student came up to me at the end of the period, and she's like, remember how you said that thing about we should check our emails? I was like, yeah, it's a good idea. And she's like, yeah, I think I got that thing where I won $500. And sure enough, she did. I was like, well, I'm glad you're checking your emails and you're actually reading them. So she won $500 from doing one of those things. Okay, so it does happen. It's a real thing. Okay, so we talked about our options. We talked about career exploration, what level of education we need, searching for colleges. College applications aren't going to be till later, but I'm still going to touch on it just so you're not like blown away your senior year. Okay, so we're going to touch just a little bit on that. Okay, this is all about applying to four-year colleges. If you're applying to Orange Tech or Valencia or another two-year college, this is not going to be for you. You just go to the website and complete the application. This is for four-year colleges. There's several parts to the application. Several parts. One of them is the application. All right, great, but you're not done yet. So you have the college application. Once you hit submit, the colleges will say, hey, thanks so much for submitting the college application, but we need more information from you. And so they want you to create a college portal. So you apply to 6 colleges, you're going to have 6 different college portals. Okay, the portals will give you a checklist. Okay, you got your application done. Okay, what's next? You got to do the FAFSA. You got to do this self-report. Okay, so there's going to be a checklist that tells you everything else you need to do. So some of our kids, we're coming up in the spring, hey, I never heard from UCF. I'm like, well, did you turn in the application? Yeah. Well, did you do the college portal? They're like, the what? I was like, have you been checking your emails? No. Okay, so that's why it's important. We've got to make sure, again, that we know what's coming. It's still a little bit of ways away, okay, so it's not tomorrow, but for next fall, you juniors, this is what we've got to be ready for. Freshmen, you just got to be aware, hey, I know I'm going to have to do more than just that college application, but never too early to start, and let's prepare for it. And last year, we had FSU, UF, and UCF all wanted all 4 of these items by November 1st. The dates have changed a little bit this year. Actually, FSU is now October 15th. Okay, but we've got to make sure that you're aware of those deadlines. It's a lot, so we can't wait till October 31st to get all this done. So we've got to start in August. You've got to have everything ready to go by July so that when August comes around, we can get this stuff going. Okay, so college application, the college portal, the self-report, and financial aid, all by the deadline. And the student is responsible for knowing all of those deadlines. Okay, so that will come around. Again, if you're looking at it right now, they may or may not be the same. So the deadlines that are posted on this paper here are going to be for this fall. So next year they could change. The college application, there's several different portals. The Common App is the most popular. It's going to be one application for over 1,000 different colleges. So that makes it a little bit easy for students. Instead of having to fill out 6 different applications, they go to one and add all of their colleges there. But keep in mind, Valencia, Orange Tech, Embry-Riddle, a couple of other ones, you'll go directly to the website. And hopefully this isn't too much. I'm just trying to make sure y'all know what's coming, okay? So we're preparing, and I'll go over all this again in the spring with the juniors, all of this again with you guys next fall. Everyone will be invited back again, so you'll hear it again. All right, but the college application will have a student portion, a counselor portion, and then of course that application fee. Colleges love charging money, so why not make you pay just to apply? But that application fee, again, can be waived with the free or reduced lunch. Colleges will be using a holistic evaluation. That means they're going to be looking at everything. They're going to be looking at that GPA. They're going to be looking at your SAT scores, your class rank. But then they're also going to be looking at your extracurricular activities. So get involved, do stuff. Whether it's through school or through your community or your church or something you're very passionate about. All of that is good. Get involved and do something. This will be more for later as well. I included it just so when I share it with you, you'll have access to it. The college essay is a big portion of the application. College Essay Guy is a great resource. So use his website. All of his videos are free. Great place to go. Some essay examples. This is just a link for essay examples so you can see what worked, what helped these students get into the college of their dream. So essays that worked, again, just use it as a resource, save it for later. Letter of recommendations are sometimes required for college applications. And so again, I'll go over this more in detail later. When you become a senior, you don't just have to use your senior teachers. So if you're starting to build a connection with one of your teachers or your counselors now, then keep them in mind for the future. Okay, you have that good connection with them. Don't lose touch with them. Stay in touch with them. Okay, so that's all about the college application. The second piece is that college portal. Okay, so as I mentioned, you're going to hit submit on that college application. Then you'll get an email that you're going to be reading, because by then you're used to reading your emails. And so it'll say, hey, go to this link, create a portal, and that's where your checklist will be for everything required to finalize that application. Then there is the self-report. Okay, so the self-report, again, I'll go over this again next year and the year after and the year after for our freshmen and sophomores. So the SAR is a self-report for most colleges, and then the Spark form is going to be for UCF. You're not going to do any of this until your senior year, until after you've submitted that college application, you've created that college portal, then the link for that self-report will appear. Okay, so just know this is coming. We've got to do that self-report. And then finally, the financial aid. As I mentioned before, all of this was due last year by November 1st. FSU bumped theirs up to October 15th of this year. So we've got to make sure we're really watching those deadlines and plan ahead. And I'm here for you. I'm not going anywhere, okay? I'll map out a plan and make sure you guys know what's coming, and I'm available to help you. All right, just some other, I guess, random information. Okay, there's early decision and early action. Those are just two terms you'll start seeing. The early decision is binding. So that means you apply to the school, you get accepted, you have to go. Whether you can pay for it or not, you are bound, you are binding with that school. So that's early decision. And then early action means that your application is as good as it's going to get, and you're not going to add anything later. Okay, again, these terms will be available to you just so you can kind of hear them once, and the next time we talk about it, it'll become more familiar. Just some more admissions vocabulary there that I'll share with you. The Direct Connect. So this is all about UCF. So anybody interested in going to UCF? Y'all thought that far ahead? Okay. All right, so some things that I was talking about earlier. Whether you do dual enrollment and you get your AA, or you go to Valencia for 2 years after high school and get your AA that way. The Direct Connect means that once you complete that AA, you get automatic admission to UCF. That means they accept you. It doesn't mean they're giving you any money, but it does mean you get accepted to the school. So that's what this is all about, some details there. There's another form you would have to fill out in addition to the application when it comes time for that. The other piece of UCF is going to be the top 10 nights. So these are the requirements as of right now. If you are in the top 10% of your class, so again, if there's 600 people in your class and your numbers 1 through 60, that would be the top 10%. And you have the required SAT or ACT. Again, these are the requirements right now. They could change. And you do all the stuff that you're supposed to do, complete the application, the college portal, the Spark form, financial aid, get all of that done by the deadline. That will be automatic admission. So again, set some goals. If UCF is your dream, get in that top 10%. Practice for that PSAT. Do well on that because that's going to help you for the SAT when you take it. Okay, take the ACT. All right, so that's the top 10 nights at UCF. Questridge is another scholarship program, or it is a scholarship program. It is a full scholarship to the top universities, and it is binding. That means if you complete the application, you get accepted, then you will be required to go. But it's a full scholarship, so you won't have to worry about the paying part. So again, it's all about setting goals. Where are you now? Is this something I want to work towards? It's for students who make mostly A's, are in the top 5 to 10% of their class, have the SAT or ACT that's required. Again, this could change over the next couple of years. And have the household earning of $65,000 or less. And again, there's lots of parameters that go with that. So this is a great opportunity for our top students who want to go to top colleges for a full scholarship. The application opens early. It is due early. So it's important, August of your senior year, you've got to get started because it's due the first or second week of September. All right, so keep that in mind. There's also a Questridge that will be a summer program that I'll be posting for juniors. Okay, so be looking for that in the spring for our juniors. Super Scholars is just a way to recognize students who have applied to the top universities and have been accepted to those top universities. The only reason, not the only reason, but one of the reasons we're encouraging that is because some of our top students were only applying to Florida schools, which we've got some great schools in Florida. Okay, great schools here. However, some of our students weren't looking outside of Florida, and so they were missing out on opportunities for scholarships to get paid to go to Princeton or Yale or some of the liberal arts colleges. So you can check this out. We'll be talking more about it as we go through. But the thing about this is, you know, if you qualify, go ahead and apply. See what they have to offer you. How much money can they offer you? And then it doesn't mean you have to go, but at least you can see what's out there. Just to touch on this real quick, a lot of students are wondering, well, what am I going to take in college, or why am I taking all these AP classes? How does that work exactly? Okay, so again, planning ahead. AP classes can take care of, we always hear that, well, you get college credit. What does that mean exactly? Okay, well, if we look at this, this is a curricular plan of study or a degree plan for UCF. So I just pulled it off the website. You can go and do your own research. But what it does is for this particular degree plan, curricular plan of study, it tells you year by year the classes you're going to take. And let's say on my, let's see, what class did I take? Let's say I took AP Biology. Well, if I look at this, on my curricular plan of study, there's no biology class that's required. So on my AP Biology, let's say I scored a 3, and this particular college accepts 3s for credit, then that means I don't have to take that elective credit. But of course, you'll meet with your college advisor and go over all of that with them. But this is, you know, just an idea of what that can do for you. It can knock off one of those extra electives where you don't have to take it, and more importantly, you don't have to pay for it. So really, keep working hard in those AP classes. You can come talk to me more about this if it doesn't make sense to you. We can talk about it more in detail, but keep taking those AP classes. It's going to pay off for you. Even if you don't ever score a 3, 4, or 5, or maybe your college doesn't take a 3, maybe they only take 4 or 5s, the AP classes really help you prepare for college. They're going to be that higher level of rigor, which will be similar to those college classes. All right, now to financial aid, the FAFSA. Okay, maybe we've heard of that before, free application for federal student aid. So basically, this is the government giving you free money for college. Okay, so free money for college. We're not going to do it until October, okay, but just know that it's coming. It offers you grant money, student loans, and also work study. The grant money is that free money that you don't have to pay back. So just be aware, everybody will do this. We'll do it in October of your senior year. Then we have the FFAA, which we know as the Bright Futures. And there's been a few updates to the Bright Futures. And this is something that all students can start working on right now. You can work on meeting those requirements every year. The GPA, the test scores, the service hours. You won't actually complete the application for the scholarship until your senior year. So right now, we've just got to start working on meeting those requirements. So what are those requirements? There's 2 big ones for the Bright Futures. There's the FMS and the FAS. So you can see the requirements there, the GPA, the service hours, which now we have work hours have been added to that. The ACT or the SAT. The FMS will be 75% tuition, whereas the FAS will be 100% tuition. There is a slight change for the class of 2024, which would be that SAT is bumped up to 1340. Again, work hard on that SAT, do your very best. And the GPA is only calculated using your 4 English, 4 math, 3 science, 3 social studies, and your 2 world languages. So it's only going to take those credits and calculate the GPA. The class of 25 and 26, those criteria have not been posted yet, so just keep working towards the class of 2024. And that way you'll be at least on track and getting where you need to go. So yes, we do have work hours now count as service hours or towards the Bright Futures as of July 21st. So if you can either have work hours or you can have service hours. And so you can see the difference there. We also have the Gold Seal CAPE, which is the industry certification if you had 5 industry certification classes, or if you had the Gold Seal Vocational, which is 3 full credits of CTE classes with a 3.5 weighted GPA. So there's lots of opportunities for scholarships here. Start planning, and let's make sure we're working towards that. And just a reminder, volunteer and work hours cannot be combined. Either the work hours or the service hours. So how much will I get exactly? That's a little tricky because it says 100% tuition. You're like, wow, it's going to be $22,000. Nope, sorry, it's not. All right, so if we go to the Big Future on College Board, go back there, we look at Florida State again. if you look at that in-state tuition, that $4,640, that would be the 100% tuition. It's still money, right? It's not 22,000. It's not what you think, but it's still money, and it's going to be deducted. So keep in mind, you're going to get all of these little deductions, and hopefully that'll continue to bring down the cost of your college. So keep working towards the Bright Futures. Every college is a little bit different, and this is for a public college. If we look in Florida, public college in Florida. If we look at a private college in Florida, such as Rollins, if we look at their in-state tuition of $55,000, guess what? Bright Futures is not going to pay $55,000. All right, good try. But it will pay a certain dollar amount. So all of the private schools will pay a dollar amount per credit hour. So you'll just have to work with that college to find out what that amount would be. All right, there's just the hours one more time, because that's the new thing. Work hours versus service hours. 100, if you're going to use work, it's got to be 100 across the board. All right, so volunteer hours, just remember volunteer, community service, it's all the same. It does have to address a social issue, so you can see those listed there. They're also in the Student Services Canvas page. Just click on community service and go towards that. We also, then we have the work hours beginning July 21st. Okay, 100 hours. I think we've got all that covered there. These are also in the Student Services Canvas page, suggested places, as well as places that do not count. All right, so make sure it is serving the community. Okay, so super important that you look at those. You can always go talk to your counselor. If you're not sure if something counts or not, talk to your counselor. Then we have the House of Patriots, that is giving back to the Freedom High School community, such as our students that we're helping today. That's part of the House of Patriots. I needed some help today. It's serving the community. And so that's a way for students to get some different volunteer hours as well. All right, so where is that form? Where can I volunteer? Do all work hours count? Guess what? It's all on Student Services Campus page. It's there. All right, so check out the community service link. You'll see the student service or the community service form is there. The examples are there. Work hours, you do have to have a pay stub. So if you're just getting paid cash, whether it's to babysit, whether it's to mow yards or work for your parents, that's not going to count. So it does have to be an official pay stub that you have to turn in with the form. So you'll fill out the form, get it signed by either your boss or the person who you did the service hours for, and you'll turn that into your counselor, and then it will be uploaded to Skyward. But guess what? You have to actually turn in the papers. A lot of kids say, oh yeah, I've got a whole bunch of them at home. Well, that doesn't do you any good, especially for Bright Futures. Bright Futures isn't going to count those hours that are in your backpack or on your desk at home. So you got to make sure you turn those in to your parent or to your counselor. All right, so complete the hours. It's always good to keep a copy of the community service form. The application, we'll do that your senior year. Okay, so that's when you'll actually do the application that will go to the colleges that the state will review. And then the money will go directly to your college. All right, but now you've got to keep working towards that GPA. Focus on that SAT or ACT and start getting those service hours or work hours. Lots of scholarships are available for college. They are. Lots of money is out there. Most of them are for seniors, but there's a lot that you can start looking at now. So if you go to the scholarship link on the Student Services Canvas page, and you can look at that list of websites there, that's a good place for you to start. Okay, so that's what you can start doing. But again, whatever you can do for that GPA, those SAT scores, that's really going to help you. But there's really scholarships for just about everything. You just got to be willing to search and complete those applications. If there are any athletes in here, anybody interested in playing college athletics? All right, if you are, number one, talk to your coach. Okay, talk to your coach, say, hey, I really would love to play. What level do you think I can play? And then you need to make sure you're either registering with Play NAIA or you're registering with the NCAA Eligibility Center. Either one of those, and then come chat with me. We'll set up a plan to make sure you get everything lined up. All right, so now when? Well, y'all are still here. That's good. Thank y'all for being here. I talked way too long. I'm sorry. Lots of information. It's hard to know what to cut out from the senior presentation because it's all important. All right, so on the back of your paper, I just sort of mapped out a plan. This is the one that has all this stuff on the front, and then on the back, it just has a sort of a plan of what you can do over the next couple of years to make sure you're lining up everything and really preparing and getting ready for that senior year. We want to be application ready by August 1st of your senior year. So that means we want to have that college list. We want to have, I didn't even talk about the brag sheet, but you want to have that brag sheet ready to go. You want to have your career kind of an idea. It doesn't have to be finalized, but that way we can be ready to go. But number one, you got to have those academics. So you've got to work hard in your classes, turning your assignments in on time, talking with those teachers if you're struggling, coming up with a plan to be successful in the classroom. That's the number one thing that's going to lead you to success in the future. And then do some, you can see that, I'm not going to read through all of this, but this just kind of gives you some ideas. And I am here for you guys, all right? So I'm here for the kids. I'll be available during lunches, so they can always come see me. Make sure you're staying informed, you're checking that Canvas announcement for student services, your student email, your personal email every day. Every day, not just once every 3 or 4 months. But don't just check it, make sure you're reading it, okay? Read those messages. And then here's just my contact information, the labs and workshops that I have available for you. Okay, so a couple of things. First of all, thank you to all my students. I think they're probably sitting down. Maybe they fell asleep by now. That's okay. All right, but they're here, so I want to thank them again for being here. I thank all of you guys for being here. I've never done a 9th through 11th presentation, so that's kind of fun to see that you guys are here and excited about planning and thinking about the future. So let me know how I can help you guys. I'm here to support you. I'll start having individual meetings probably November, okay? So sit tight on that just for a second so we can get all those seniors through their college applications. And then we can get going and get you guys ready. So I'll stick around if you guys have any questions. Other than that, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for your time.
Give me 1 second. I think